Well, hello everybody. I hope you're doing well today, and I hope things have been moving along greatly with you. I know it's fall, the winter is around the corner, and this is something that I deal with every year, where we have the S word coming into people's minds. But before we get into all of that for weather, I want to talk about things that are maybe going on. I know in the last little bit, if you've been around my Discord, around the community, I've made a couple posts that has had a few people pop up and ask a few more questions. And it's a situation where I don't really want to dive into it too deep with a lot of people out there because, in all honesty, it doesn't breed anything that's positive. It brings a person down. And I have to say, the friends that are around are absolutely fantastic. And if it wasn't for them, I probably would have went down a very, very dark path. And it wouldn't have been a situation that I want to in the long run. I would like some sort of resolution. And this is what happens when you try and work things out with friends, with groups, with people that are out there. You try and stand at a place that you can sit there and work things out. And that's where I'm at. Some of the people I know, they're absolutely fantastic people. And then there's some that are up there, and I wish that I could be more of a friend to them, and I wish I could. But in some ways, it seems to me you run into a conflict. And that's the problem that I'm having right now, is how to deal with this conflict in a way that everyone is still friends. In a way that I still want to be friends with people, because deep down, I know everyone is a nice person. I know everyone is doing their bit and trying to do something more, and just wanting to be who they are. That's the one thing that I find very fascinating about this entire fandom, is everyone showcases who they are. And yeah, there are some very bad people out there, and I have met some of them. And in all honesty, those bad people dwarf a little bit of a friend conflict in the long run. And that's why I sit there and I still stand where I am, where I want to be, where I want to be able to try and resolve whatever issues I'm having, whatever issues they're having in this process. So right now, I am trying my darndest to look past some things. I really am. And it takes, when you got to dig deep down to try and resolve that scenario, it's not easy. Honestly, there's no shortcuts in life. And there is one thing you could do in this circumstance, and then you move on. But I don't want to. I don't feel like moving on very simply with the knife is the solution in this matter. I think there's more things that I need to do, and more things that can help everyone in the long run. It's not my place in a lot of ways to say yay or nay to a lot of people. It really isn't. I try to run a very open community. I try to run a place where everyone can be free to be themselves. In that, I've had to actually take a step back and now realize that I need to kind of create my own boundaries. I need to create a boundary for myself, and one of which I've had to turn around to a few people and say, listen, I've had to turn around and say, I know we talk in DMs. I know I try to be very supportive. But at the same time, I don't want to get to the point where people are constantly asking me who I am, what I do outside of all of this, what feelings I'm having at certain times. It really does get to a point where you have to sit there and start saying no. And the second you say no, people do rise up and they get very upset. Unfortunately, that's not on me. Unfortunately, that is something that they have to live with. Unfortunately, that is something that I still have to have a repercussion with that and live with it, because every action has a reaction to it. That's the laws of physics. That's the laws of the world we live in. Everyone interacting with each other. And when that's going on, there is a certain level that I try to hold at a standard that still tries to be very maintaining and very open to those around me. It's difficult. I've been through probably one of the most difficult situations I've ever experienced when it comes to dealing with the friend circle. The friends I do have, they're absolutely amazing, and they see things in a different light. They see things going on around, and they know things can get to a person. Things get to people. They do. They get inside your head, and then you sit there and you go, okay, how do I move on? How do I take this out of my head and forget about it? How do I turn around and stand up on my own 2 feet or my own 2 paws and forget certain things? This isn't like a court of law. This isn't like a criminal thing or anything like that. Nothing criminal here has really transpired. The only thing that has transpired is something that really, really got my attention in a way that if any of you were in my spot, all of you would have just turned around and opened the door and closed it behind these people. The one thing that I have really learned within this fandom is there is a lot of crossover with a lot of creators, with a lot of people out there. Some hold themselves to a very high degree, while others sit there and they don't know what they're doing. I've been around in content creation for a very long time, and I have, honestly, this type of situation is very minor to ones I've dealt with in the past. But the reason why this hits me in particular very, very solidly is because it's part of me. It's a part of who I am that's in question right now. And I'm not going to sit there and change who I am because of 1 or 2 people, because of things that happen to go awry, because I'm doing something that in a lot of ways really does feel unheard of. Where I sit there and I put myself out there and trying to be a very, very responding and responsible person. I have a family. I have a lot of things that are going on in real life. But then at the end of the day, it's my hobby to sit there and make these videos, to interact with the people in VRC, to sit there and have a life outside of everything else. Those are the things that really mean something more. But like everything, we're all one big happy family in this world. There's a lot of people, a lot more people out there, a lot of the situations that do happen, it becomes something that's very bad. This one is very minor in particular, and it's something that I personally am trying to look beyond. Trying to look at the good that's within people and see something that rises above. See what rises to the top of that glass, because that's where I am right now. I'm seeing what rises to the top and what goodness is in people. And I know there's some out there that want to do things. They sit there and they reach out, and then they want to know more about personally who I am. And that's where I need to set that boundary. who I am in real life and who I am online, really, my personality is no different. I am very kind, and I try to be very forgiving. I try to be that person that would want to be treated. I've had interactions with certain creators in the past. They weren't good. They very much weren't good. And then I sit there and have interactions with newer creators, other creators, ones that want to do good things, and I see the good things going on. And then certain things rise up and it becomes a much more nuanced thing. And then you're sitting there trying to figure out the differences, trying to figure out who said what, who's saying this, who's doing that. And I don't fucking bloody care at this point. I just want people to be happy. All the creators that are out there that I've met, I want to see them grow exponentially in the process of all of this. I want to see them rise. And I want to forget about the shit that's going down. That's the stuff that brings a person down. And then sometimes, people don't see it in themselves. And that's the hardest lesson, is trying to get past those little spots that really bring you down. Overall, I'm okay. I'm going to be okay. My friends are going to be okay. The people I really do care about are going to be okay. But that one little blip, I can't leave it behind. When this comes to play, you need to get rid of it. Anyway, I am your proud Canadian Phoenix, Cindershadow. Have yourselves a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again very soon.